I'm sorry, what did you say? Positive. Okay. Descending order. Every term present. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. So we're going to use the coefficients 2, the negative 1, the negative 12, the negative 8, the negative 5, and positive 6. The nice thing about you using your lined paper is you can skip a line and put your line down, right? All right, bring the 2 down. 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 1 plus 2, 1. 1 times 1, 12. Negative 12 plus 1, negative 11. Negative 11 times 1, negative 11. Negative 8 plus negative 11, woo, negative 19 times 1, negative 5 plus negative 19, and negative 24 times 1. And when I add those, negative 18. So we just found that f of 1 equals negative 18. Doesn't work. So positive 1 didn't work. You want to try negative 1? I cross it out lightly just so that I don't try it again. You know what I mean? It just helps me keep up. Did you say sure? Okay. Well, if it's a 0, that'd be nice. But no, there's no rhyme or reason. You can literally try whatever numbers you want out of that list. So I always stick to this end first. I try all these numbers because a lot of times 6 or negative 6 isn't going to be the 0. It might, but it's kind of rare. So would you like to try negative 1 though? Yeah. Okay, so 2, negative 1, negative 12, negative 8, negative 5, positive 6. Aw, look at that. I got kind of excited when I saw the negative 6. I was like, hey, aw. When you multiply by negative 1, you get positive. So here's something I want to tell you, though. I want you to look at. This is why I showed you the intermediate value theorem. Ah, did she show us something at the beginning of class? So f of 1 was negative 18, but I just found that f of negative 1 is positive 12. That's negative, that's positive. So what does that mean my function did between 1 and negative 1? It crossed. Do I have any choices that are between 1 and negative 1? Well, negative 1/2 or positive 1/2. So should I maybe try negative 1/2 or positive 1/2 instead of going to 3/2 or 2? Most definitely. You missed something. You're writing. I appreciate you owning that and telling me. It's very cool. It's fine. Are you ready this time? So, at the beginning of class, I showed you the intermediate value theorem that said when you plug in a value of x, 1, or in this case, negative 1 is smaller, right? So if I plug in negative 1, I get a positive 12. Then, okay, let me draw a picture because I think that might help. When I plug in negative 1, I get positive 12, right? When I plug in positive 1, I get negative 18. Ah. So to get from point A to point B, it has to cross somewhere. Now, it can cross maybe at negative 1/2, or maybe it crosses at positive 1/2. I don't know. But it helps me figure out that there's definitely a 0 between negative 1 and positive 1, right? So I backed up to my list and I said, is there any choices that are between negative 1 and positive 1? Yeah, we have negative 1/2 and positive 1/2. Which one do y'all want to try? The positive or the negative? I heard choices for both. Okay, most of you said positive that I could hear, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so bring down the 2, and half times 2. So what's half of 2? 1. Negative 1 plus 1? 0. 0 times a half is 0. Negative 12 plus 0? Negative 12. Half of negative 12? Negative 6. Negative 8 plus negative 6? Negative 14. What's half of negative 14? Negative 7. Negative 5 plus negative 7? Negative 12. What's half of negative 12? Negative 6! What just happened? What? We found a 0. So, it started as a 5th degree. It's now a 4th degree. So, I always write myself a little note like, hey, I just got it down to a 4th degree. So, from now on, the zeros that I'm going to try to plug in, I'm going to use this new depressed polynomial because it's smaller. It went down by 1. That's why it's called a depressed polynomial. It went down 1 degree. Okay? So 1/2 worked. Do you want to try negative 1/2? Do you think negative 1/2 is going to work? Maybe. Think about what I just drew up here. Do you think if it crosses through at negative 1/2, it's going to magically cross through at positive 1/2 and then somehow get back down here again? No. So what did I just learn though? Positive 1/2 worked, right? So am I going to have 0 real zeros? No, I'm definitely going to have 2. So what that tells Miss Harrell is since I found one that worked, I'm going to start looking at my list for another one that works. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh! It makes me so angry when it won't stay scrolled down. Okay, so positive 1/2 worked. Do you want to try maybe positive 3/2 or maybe positive 2? Y'all are avoiding fractions. I'm telling you, you got to make peace. Whew. Do it anyways. That's part of teaching is I help you learn to push through. So do it anyways. Make peace. Jeez. Okay. War on fractions. Is that what you just said? That's funny. All right. 2, 0, negative 12, negative 14, negative 12. Help me remember those. 2, negative 12, right? What did y'all get? 0? Oh, did I skip one? Man, I'm sorry. So 2, 0, negative 12, negative 14, negative 12. You don't have to write the last 0. I mean, it got a remainder of 0. It's done. Okay? And what did you just tell me? Y'all avoided 3/2. So plug in 2. Right? Okay. All right. Bring the 2 down. 2 times 2 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Negative 12 plus 4 is negative 4. 2 times negative 4, negative 8. Negative 14 plus 8, negative 22. And negative 22 times 2, negative 44. And I get negative 56. Let's back up. What did I get for positive 1/2? 0. So that doesn't really help me. Okay, let's look at positive 1. I got negative 18, right? For f of 1. You'll see why I'm showing you that. F of 1 was negative 18, right? What did I just get for f of 2? Negative 56, right? It didn't cross, did it? Did it cross? So is there a 0 between 1 and 2? So should I even try 3/2? So the intermediate value theorem just helped me figure out I'm not even going to try positive 3/2 because when I plugged in f of 1, I got a negative value, and when I plugged in negative 56, f of 2, I got another negative value, right? So what do you want to do? 3? Okay. Here's one word of caution I want to tell you, okay? Just because it says there's definitely going to be 2 positive real zeros doesn't mean it has to be rational, okay? This list of choices right here is only my rational ones, all right? So I don't want you to plug them all in and then get discouraged like, I didn't find another one. It's because it might be irrational, okay? So you can plug in your negatives, though, hopefully, and you'll find another 0, right? Okay, let's keep going. So we're plugging in 3. Wowza. 3 times 2 is 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. Negative 12 plus 18 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Negative 14 plus 18 is 4. 3 times 4 is... Look at that! Guess what that just told me, though? I just found my second positive real zero. So should I try any more positives? No. So now I'm going to switch to negatives. Because this, let me back up. Once I found one, it was a 4th degree. So now that I found another, it's now a 3rd degree. So if I can find one more, just one more, I'll be good, right? So what do you want to try for negatives? Positive 3 worked. Positive 3 worked. So did positive 1/2. I didn't try negative 1/2. I didn't try negative 3/2. I haven't tried, yeah, there is a reason why I didn't try negative 1/2. It's because between 1 and negative 1, it's probably not going to cross right there, right? Yeah, so I'm going to cross that out. I forgot to cross it out. Thank you. I'm going to cross out negative 1/2, but what about negative 3/2? Could it be a 0? It might be, right? Because that's negative 1 1/2, and that's past my little picture. Negative 1 1/2 would be over here. Couldn't this go up here and then turn and come back down? Yeah, so do you want to try negative 3/2, or do you want to try negative 2 or negative 3? What do you want to try? I'm not picking. I'm not at your house when y'all do your homework. So, negative 2. I don't know why I'm going with that, but I am. Because you asked me nicely, so I picked negative 2. All right. So, let me paste my function again so that we keep up with... Ah, man, I keep doing that. All right, and what was my new depressed polynomial? It was 2664, right? 2, 2, 6, 6, 4. And I'm plugging in negative 2, right? All right, bring down the 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 6 plus negative 4 is 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Bring it down again. 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 0. You want to know what's funny about that? I have no notes out in front of me. So that wasn't on purpose. I just got lucky. Seriously, look, there's no pre-calculus out. It's my planner. That's it. Yay, though, because look, what did we just find? 2nd degree. So this is a 0, and I got it down to 2x squared plus 2x plus 2. Is that factorable? 2, 2, 2. Always look to see if you can factor out a GCF. So this is x squared plus x plus 1. What times what would multiply to give me 1, but add to give me 1? 1 times 1 is 1, but 1 plus 1 is 2. Here's the deal, though. Students, stop here. If I said list the factors, yes, this is a factor. But tell me which zeros worked, because y'all were putting check marks with them like I was, right? So which ones worked? 1/2 worked, okay. 3 worked, and negative 2. So what we just discovered was these are the zeros. So the factors then would be, if I told you to write all the factors, would be 2 times x squared plus x plus 1, right? Times, what would 1/2 be as a factor? 2x minus 1. So that when I add 1 to both sides, I get 2x equals 1, right? And then divide by 2. Does everybody understand that this factor corresponds to that 0? Okay, what's the other factor? X minus 3. And what's the last factor? X plus 2. Now, let me back up and look. I have 2 times quantity x squared plus x plus 1 times 2x minus 1 times x minus 3 times x plus 2. What's going to happen if I FOIL this all out? I would get x squared times 2x, which is 2x cubed, right? And then x times x, which is x squared. So this would give me 2x to the 5th. Isn't that what I need? So do I actually need that 2 in the front? I do not. okay? You actually don't need that 2 in the front because that factor is being taken care of right here, okay? Do you understand why? Well, there's a reason and my mind's blanking. Let me think about it and I'll let you know, okay? It's not that you're dropping it. I think it's because when you set 2 equal to 0 as a factor, 2 equals 0 isn't a 0, but then the 2x right here takes care of it. But there is a reason, other than just the 2x takes care of it. I always look at my factors if I were to FOIL them out to make sure that I would get it back, okay? And if you write your zeros, they would be 1/2 0, 3 0, and -2 0. But that's only these 3. So how can I find the zeros for this piece? If I can't factor it, what do I have to do? Sign divide's not going to work either, right? Because it's not factorable. Quadratic formula. And you can use this reduced one. You don't have to use this one. If you use that one, it would just reduce at the end, right? So which one would y'all use? This one or this one? Just tell me, be honest. Would you use this one? Huh? No, you would use this one? Okay. So A is, what's my formula? First of all, let's see if y'all remember. X equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Remember that? All right. So negative b is -1 because that's b, plus or minus b squared. B is 1, so 1 squared is 1, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 1. All over 2 times 1. A is 1, B is 1, C is 1. And then you just reduce. So that would be -1 plus or minus 1 minus 4, right? All over 2. Do you see why we didn't get that answer? Because this is -1 plus or minus I times the square root of 3. Because wouldn't that be -3? So you bring the I out. So those zeros are imaginary, but you can still list them, okay? If you had plugged the 2's in, you would have had 2, 2. You could have pulled a 2 out and then 2 and a 4 down here. So you could have simplified, okay? Any questions?